Hi, welcome back to Larissa Ranks Things. My name is Larissa, and today we're gonna rank Riverdale characters. If you're not familiar with Riverdale, it's the worst show on television, I think, ever. I've watched like a lot of garbage like TV shows, but I think this one is just like the absolute worst. But you know what? It's one of those shows where like it sucks, but like you can't stop watching. And so here I am, 5 seasons in, and season 5 just started releasing new episodes again, which is very exciting because this is the worst season yet. I think that like every season they kind of like outdo themselves in how awful it is, and I'm thrilled to have new episodes. And so it feels like a good time to rank all the characters. And I'm really excited because I have feelings about a lot of the characters and how much they suck. So this is gonna be awesome. And yeah, let's rank Riverdale characters. Okay, so the like tier categories that I'm using are coming mostly from a video Mike did ranking Glee characters. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It's a good video. So the categories go from icon to mega flop, with Veronica Lodge being just like the absolute worst possible thing you could be. An icon is someone, for me, who has very like little to none cringe, and I really don't want to like just punch them in the face a lot. So that is an icon for me. There are characters who I generally don't hate, and they get to stand on the podium. And then there's characters who are in the middle or something. I don't really care about them that much. They're whatever. And then I personally feel that there's so many flop characters in Riverdale that I have to separate that category into two. So there's like a regular flop, and then there's like a mega flop where it's like, oh my god, I hate you and you suck. And then there's Veronica Lodge. I hate her. I think Veronica is just like the worst character like ever, and she deserves her own category because mega flop just doesn't cover it for me. So those are the categories that we're using. And yeah, let's begin. First up, going kind of strong, we have Cheryl. So Cheryl, for me, gets to stand on the podium. I think it could be argued that she has icon status. However, she annoys me too much sometimes for her to be a true icon. Especially in season 5, her plotline just sucks. So yeah, there are too many times where I just like can't stand her for her to be a true icon. But she definitely gets to stand on the podium. Next up we have Mad Dog. He gets to be in the middle or something. I don't really care about him. He was in the whole prison, Archie goes to prison plotline. I don't really care about it. I guess he was fine. He didn't do anything for me though. This man, okay, half of me feels like I've never seen him before in my life, and the other half of me thinks that that's Reggie's dad. And if it's Reggie's dad, he's a mega flop. We hate an abusive father, so he sucks. This man I have also never seen in my life, so he's a flop. If I have no idea who you are, you're a flop. Like, I don't know what to say. Then we have Smithers, who is Veronica's chauffeur slash like security guard person. I don't know what he does, but he gets to stand on the podium. He's pretty swagged up. Yeah, definitely a podium man. I think this next person is Tallboy, and if it's Tallboy, then he's a mega flop. This man literally dressed up. He dressed up as a gargoyle king, and then would just like break into people's houses, and then he was like, okay, for context, I think it was like season 3 maybe. There was this whole like Griffins and Gargoyles board game, which was just like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons-esque. And like kids were like playing the game and then like drinking cyanide and trying to like ascend to meet the Gargoyle King. And then I think it turned out that it was Tall Boy like dressing up and then he was like killing people or something. And it was just very weird, and it's a flop for me. Another mega flop coming up. This lady, what is even her name? Miss Nunn, literally ran a gay conversion program. So we hate that. Ew, like why did Riverdale even do that? That is just awful. So she's a mega flop for sure. Archie, however, gets to stand on the podium. There's like a lot of Archie slander, I think. I feel like people don't like him, but I don't really have a problem with Archie. He's just like vibing and doing his best. I think a lot of his plot lines are really stupid, and that's not his fault. I don't like it when he goes on his whole like vigilante thing and like tries to like be a justice bringer or something. I think that's weird. But generally, he's fine, I guess. I don't have a problem with Archie. And in the new season, he's one of the only good characters. So for that, he's on the podium for sure. Okay, anyone who went to this stupid boarding school in season 4, there was a whole boarding school plot where Jughead went to this school that wasn't Riverdale High, and his whole plot was that there was like a bunch of murders happening surrounding like a children's book contest that these kids were trying to enter, and then he'd like fake his death to figure out like who was killing people or something. And all these prep school kids sucked. Like, I hate them. There was not a single good character at that school. That whole plot line was infuriating. So any character who goes to that school is a mega flop for me. This girl sucks. I don't even remember her name, but she is the worst. I can't stand her. Next up is Veronica's secret long-lost sister, mega flop. Why does Veronica have a secret long-lost sister who just like comes into the plot randomly? What is that about? And she sucks. She just like causes problems. And for what? There's enough like dumb villains in this show. We don't need Veronica's sister. And then we have Betty's sister, who I think I'm gonna put in regular flop. She tried to like convert her whole family into joining a cult. She named her kids Juniper and Dagwood. What is that about? And she just is overall useless and does nothing for the plot, and I don't care about her. And then Hiram Lodge is a mega flop for me. What even is his motives behind anything that he does? He's been the villain, I feel like, for literally 3 seasons. I feel like 3 seasons. And for what? Right now, he's trying to destroy the town of Riverdale so that he can, like, mine a rock or something. Like, I literally am not making that up. I think that's what's happening in season 5. That's so dumb. Like, why is he still here? Why is he so bent on destroying the town? Who cares? Literally, who cares? I'm so sick of him. Like, get Hiram Lodge out of here. I could care less. Next up, we have this random, like, 12-year-old flop. Jellybean is a mega flop. This girl, oh my god. In the last season, this girl was sad Jughead was going to be going to college and leaving her. So she started videotaping houses. Like, she would sit there with her video camera and just film random people's houses, like the front door, for hours, and then give them a VHS tape of the footage just to be creepy, so that she could get Jughead to be like, oh my god, there's some creepy person who's doing this and I need to solve the mystery and now I can't go to college. What? That is like that's weirdo behavior. Josie gets to stand on the podium. She didn't do anything wrong for me. She just like didn't get a lot of plot. It was just like she's in her band and she's singing, and I can vibe with that. Like, go off, Josie, do your thing. I literally have no idea who this person is. Who is this person? Never seen him before in my life. You're a flop. This guy, first icon status, y'all. This mortician. Oh wait, My absolute king. I'm obsessed with him. So literally every time there's like a murder, which is like a lot of times, I guess, he's just the mortician and he tells them what's wrong with the body and how they died. And I just think he's the coolest. He just like minds his business, like gets people to bribe him, and just does his autopsies. And I love that for him. He is the coolest ever. I love him. No idea what his name is. Betty, another high character, gets to stand on the podium. I think Betty is very tolerable. There's sometimes where I'm like, oh my god, you're being so annoying. But generally, like, Betty is fine, and I don't have a problem with her. Especially in season 5, she's really good. She and Archie are carrying the show. They're the only non-irritating people. So I love that for them. And yeah, good stuff. Principal Weatherby gets to be in the middle. He does his best to run this stupid high school where everything just goes wrong and people are always dying. And I feel bad for him, and he deserves better. Charles is a mega flop. This is Betty and Jughead's shared long-lost brother. Yes, Betty and Jughead are dating. Yeah, so he's their long-lost brother. Weirdo alert. Are you kidding me? It was so obvious he was gonna be evil, and then, like, he was. And that's the story. He just, like, sucks. He was, like, an FBI agent. It's unclear to me whether he was actually an FBI agent. And then he was like, oh, Betty, I'm gonna let you be in on all my cases. That's not... She's 17. Why are you bringing the 17-year-old into your FBI cases? That's weird. No, just absolute weirdo alert. Pop gets to be on the podium, I guess. He's fine. Sweet Pea in the middle or something. I don't really care about him. Mama Blossom is a mega flop for me. She just, like, kind of sucks. Generally, she was, like, not a good mom to Cheryl. Throwback to when she had, like, a prostitution ring or something. Right now, she's starting, a religion. She started a religion in prison. And now she is gonna have a congregation. And basically, she's turning her dead son, Jason, into Riverdale's Jesus, which is really weird. And I'm not loving that. Speaking of Jason, here he is. Jason, for me, dare I call him a flop? It's not his fault. He's in the middle or something. The thing is that Jason, he died, right? And then that's how Riverdale started. Jason died, and they were like, oh my god, season 1, who killed Jason? Okay, that's the first season, okay? But the thing is that they keep talking about him. I'm tired of hearing about Jason. I am sick of it. There was like a whole season where Cheryl just like literally dug up his corpse and like sat him down in a chair and then would just like have dinner with him and just like hang out with Jason and talk to him, and it was just like his corpse was there. And now Mama Blossom is starting a freaking religion around him, and I'm sick of it. Like, I literally let Jason die. I don't want to see his corpse. I don't want to hear about him anymore. I want him to be done. So for that reason, I kind of can't stand him, but also he didn't do anything wrong. It's not his fault. So he can be in the middle. Miss Grundy, mega flop. Ew, literally had an affair with 16-year-old student Archie. Gross. That is not okay. Tony can stand on the podium. She is kind of iconic. However, she is not on the level of my mortician man. Alice Cooper is on the podium. She's kind of swag. Actually, no, she's in the middle. Oh my god, icon. Fred Andrews, my king. I love Fred Andrews. Rest in peace. He was awesome. I never hated him, and he was an unproblematic person who I enjoyed. So that's probably going to be our last icon, to be honest, but time will tell. This is Principal Honey. Mega flop. What did he do besides be mean to all his high school students and then cancel prom? He didn't do anything for me, that's for sure. I did not care about him. FP Jones is on the podium. He's really cool. Freaking Ethel Everneffer is a mega flop. I can't stand her. Okay, so the whole farm plot line. Let me talk about the farm for a minute. So there's the farm, and it's a cult, right? It's the one that Polly was in, and she was like, oh my god, Mom, Betty, join the cult. I indoctrinated my children, and now I'm in it. Ah ha ha. And so they're just like a cult, and then it turns out that they're like harvesting the organs of their cult members. And it's like a whole thing where Ethel, this girl right here, she has been going to rando high schools and just like recruiting teenagers for the farm, and she's 30 years old. She's just like pretending to be one of them and is like, oh, I was homeschooled, so there's like no record of me. Ew, that's so like creepy. I hate that. Also, she was just annoying. And yeah, mega flop for sure. Reggie is in the middle. He's just like a normal dude, and I really respect that. As opposed to like freaking Betty and Jughead, who are like detective / junior FBI agents as juniors. Archie is always like doing weird stuff, trying to solve crime and then getting mauled by a bear. And then Veronica just sucks and is always like being a businesswoman. I can't stand her, but we're not there yet. So Reggie is just like a normal high schooler. He's like, I'm on the football team and I'm having fun. And I love that for him. Next up is Fangs, I think. He can stand on the podium. He's pretty cool. Chick, I'm kind of a fan of. He's in the middle or something. He was kind of a cool like villain. I enjoyed him. Okay, so you know how we talked about where's Charles? This guy, Charles, is Betty and Jughead's long lost sibling, who is the child of Alice and FP. He's their sibling, right? But Chick here in season 2 was like, yeah, I'm your long lost brother. So he pretended to be Charles and then like lived in like Betty's house, and it was really weird. But he was kind of cool, I think. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember being kind of a Chick fan, so he can be in the middle. This one is Clifford Blossom, I think. Or it was the twin. I don't know. I can't tell them apart. It's the same actor. So he is actually, you know what? I'm going to put him in regular flop. So Clifford Blossom was the first like villain of Riverdale because season 1, Jason was murdered. And then they were like, oh my god, who killed Jason? And then it was Clifford Blossom. So he's a flop for sure for killing his son. However, he was like a normal villain. He wasn't some weirdo gargoyle king or like stupid, what's his name, Hiram Lodge, who's just like trying to destroy the town for no reason. So for that, he has normal flop status. He like made sense as a character. Joaquin, I also remember being kind of cool. He can stand on the podium. Jughead, he's not on the podium. He's in the middle or something. I really don't care for Jughead. I find him annoying. And especially in season 5, this new one, he sucks. He's just the worst. And yeah, I don't really care for Jughead at all. Ethel Muggs, god, mega flop 3000. I hate her. And there's nothing even like specific that I hate about her. I just think Ethel is the most irritating character. Like, I don't know what she did, but I can't stand her. So she is a mega flopatron for me. What's next? I think this is Penny Peabody. The names in this show are literally the worst. They're so irritating. Penny sucks. She's a mega flop for sure. Kevin is not in the middle or something. He is on the podium for sure. Kevin is pretty cool. I think he's a really good best friend to Betty, and I love that for them. Hal Cooper. Okay, so Hal Cooper is Betty's dad, right? And he was the Black Hood, which was the villain of season 2. He was just like murdering people because he was like, I have to cleanse Riverdale of sinners. And you know what? That was like the last like okay season of Riverdale. And again, as a villain, it kind of was like normal-ish. So I'm gonna put him in regular flop. This guy, I think, was the principal of the prep school. So he's an automatic mega flop. Same with this guy, Brett. And then he was just like all around a suck fest. Like, he is the worst. So he's a mega flop for sure. I've never seen that man in my life. He's a flop. Nana Rose is in the middle or something. She's kind of like really cool, but I also kind of hate her this season. So that's the story. This freaking Edgar Evernefer is a mega flop. He is the leader of the farm cult. God, he's the worst. And I'm just like really upset that Chad Michael Murray like played this character in Riverdale. Why did he do that? He's so much better than this. Like, he deserves better than Riverdale. But yeah, Edgar was the leader of the farm, and I just hate, what I really, really hate about his character is that when the FBI or something was gonna come and like take him down because they were like, oh my god, you're being weird and killing people and harvesting their organs, he was like, you're never gonna get me because I have built a rocket and I'm going to escape. He literally built himself a rocket ship, and then he wore, you can't even like see it, but he made this like jumpsuit that was just like, he was like, I'm gonna escape in my rocket in this jumpsuit. And it was just like the stupidest thing I've ever seen on television. And so I really just hate it. And then in last place, Veronica Lodge. Veronica is like my least favorite character in all of Riverdale. Oh my god, my cat's here. Did you guys hear that? Oh my god, it's Giger. Joanna. Yeah, I just think the way she talks is so irritating, and the way she's always like going on about how she's a businesswoman and she has like her speakeasy, which is dumb. I can't stand her speakeasy. And then she's like, I hate my father and I need to defeat him because he's evil. And then she's like, Archiekins all the time. Why does she call Archie Archiekins? That's so annoying. And then what else? In this season, I don't even know what is going on with her. She calls herself the She-Wolf of Wall Street, which I think is just like the worst thing I've ever heard. And her whole plot line is giving me Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems, and it's kind of freaking me out, and I don't like it. I just can't stand her, and that's the way it is. All right, and so here's the final list of everyone. Our only icons are the autopsy guy and Fred Andrews, as it should be, and then Veronica is dead last, as it should be. So yeah, okay, thanks for watching. Comment if you agree with any of my rankings and who your favorite and your least favorite Riverdale characters are. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed watching. Bye!